Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be looking at how to configure always on availability group. So to start with it, I have my domain controller, I have my prod, that's one instance, and I have my DR. So I'm going to use these two servers, right? And with my domain controller. Now to start, what I need to do is to configure my always on availability. So I'll go to my prod, which is my server. So what I'll do here is to go to configuration manager. You need to go to configuration manager first and then click yes. So this has to be done for both servers. Now what you need to do is to go to your services. So I'm using SQL Server 2022. So what I'll do is to right click, go to properties, and then click up here. You have always on availability group. Click on it and then you see that by default this box is unchecked. You need to check it and then you click apply and okay, I've already done that. And also make sure your server is on Windows Server Failover Cluster. I have a video showing how you can set up your Windows Failover Cluster. Now once it is done, you need to restart your services, so you need to do the same thing for your DR, which is the other server. Now once that is done, you have to go to your management studio. So I'm going to use my prod as my primary server. So I'll go to my management studio, click on connect, and I'll connect to the SQL server. So that's my prod. So I'll click connect. Now once I have my server connected, what I need to do is to look at my databases. I have two user databases, right? And then here under the server level, you can see always on availability. So I'll click on this, expand it, and you can see availability groups. Now let's check our DR. So on our DR, let's go to our management studio. Remember, you need to enable the failover, the always on availability using the configuration manager. So I'll click on connect and then I'll connect to this instance. Now once it is connected, let's see the databases we have here. We don't have any user database, so let's expand our always on availability group. You can see it here. So now let's go to our primary server, which is our prod. So to do that, I'll go to my prod. I'll click on my prod, and now I'll go to always on availability, expand, and then I have availability groups. I'll right click it and then click on availability group wizard. So these settings will be done on only the primary server. Now I'll click on next here, and then here it says availability group name. So let me say DB always on. Let me just use this name, and then the cluster type is Windows Server Failover Cluster. Okay, you have external and none here, so I'll leave it as Windows Failover Cluster. And then here database level health detection per database DTC support. So I'll click on next. I'll leave it as it is. And then here you can see my user databases have populated here, and you can see meet prerequisites. So I'll just check this box and select all my user databases and click on next. Here I have my primary server. So here is this, which is primary. Now here I can check this box and then it changes it to synchronous commit. You can also change it to asynchronous commit. Readable secondary, you can select here. Click on this drop down. You can select yes or no or read intent only. Let me select read intent only. Now what I need to do is to add my replica, which is the secondary server. Okay, that's the secondary. So I'll click on add replica. Then I will need to log in or connect to it, to that server. So that's my DR server. So I'll click on it and then connect. Now it's been connected. I'll also check this box to change it to synchronous commit. With synchronous commit, there is a little bit of delay, right? So here I'll also click on read intent. There's a little bit of delay, but there is no data loss. Now the next thing now you need to do, top here you have your endpoints. I'll leave it as it is. Backup preferences. I'll go to my listener. I'll configure my listener here. Okay. So here, do not create an availability group listener now. I'm going to do it. So I'll create it now. Here, I'll name it my DB listener. That's the name of my listener. And then the port, let me use port 1433. And then if your servers are running on DHCP, you can select DHCP to assign IP address automatically. If not, you can assign the IP. So I'll assign my IP manually. So I'll click on add, and then this is my IP range. Okay, so say 192.168.100.9. Let me give it .9. So my subnet mask is already there. I'll click on OK. And then what I'll do is to click on next. And then here we have select your data synchronization preference. I'll use the automatic seeding. Okay, you can also select full database and log backup or join only, skip initial data, and then you have the description down below it. So I'll leave it as it is and click on next. Now the validation is okay. I'll click on next, and then now the configuration is happening. So let's wait for it to finish. All right, now we have our configuration done. So I'll close this, and then what I'll do is to refresh my availability group. I'll expand this, and then you can see I have my DB always on, which is the primary. Okay, because I use the prod as the primary. If I expand, I will have my availability replicas. So I have my secondary and then my primary. Let me see the databases in there. I have my bank DB and sales DB, and then my listener is here now. If I refresh my databases, you see that it will be changed into synchronized. Okay, so now let's go to our DR, which is the secondary server. So on our DR, let's refresh this database, and then if we expand our databases, you can see it is also synchronized. Initially, we didn't have any database on our DR, but now we can have it here. We have it here. Let's go to always on availability, expand availability groups. You can see it here, which is a secondary. Okay, so anytime there is a disaster with the primary, it is going to automatically fail over to the secondary server, which is on our DR. Okay, so we have our replicas here. You can see secondary. We have availability here, which is our bank DB and sales DB. We have our listener also here. Now I'm going to show you how to manually fail over to see how our DR will now take over the responsibility of becoming the primary server. All right, so before I create the manual failover, right, you can click on your availability group and then go to show dashboard here. Now this will show you the details of it. So you can see the replica row is secondary. You can do the same thing on the primary server. Now let's go and do our failover on the primary. So I'll go to my primary, and then what I'll do here is to right click on my DB availability always on, and then I'll go to failover. Okay, you click on failover. Let's click next. Click next here, and then let's connect to our secondary. So I'll click connect, and then I'll connect to my secondary. It's connected, and then I'll click on next, and then I'll click on finish. So let's wait for performing manual failover to secondary replica. So that's the secondary server. So in this case, the secondary server will become the primary until this prod instance comes back online or issue is being resolved. Now let's go to our DR to see if it has taken over. So I'll go to my DR. This is my DR now, and then let me refresh it. Let me refresh the server. Click on refresh. Go to always on availability, and then you can see now it has turned to primary, right? It has turned to our primary server. So if I right click and go to show dashboard, let's wait for it. You can see now we have primary. The row has changed from secondary to primary. Okay, so that's a simple way of creating a failover, always on availability, so there can always be availability of data. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.